Coach's Corner. My name's Chris Kuchta. I'm the Assistant Director of Athletics here at Prairie State College. Today, we have our special Men's Tennis 2023 National Championship Preview Show. Our very own Prairie State Pioneers, champions of the Illinois Skyway Collegiate Conference, champions of NJCAA Region 4, have qualified for the national tournament for the first time in 3 years. Big news here, very exciting news. Of course, we're all excited. Today on the program, we're going to have 3 of our very outstanding men's tennis players, as well as head coach Donn Gobbie. The national tournament will be held May 15th through the 23rd in McKinney, Texas at Collin College. Now, without further ado, here is PSC head coach Donn Gobbie on the Coach's Corner. We are here with Prairie State College men's head tennis coach Donn Gobbie. Coach, thank you for being here with us today on the Coach's Corner. Coach Gobbie is the Illinois Skyway Collegiate Conference Coach of the Year, as well as the NJCAA Region 4 Coach of the Year. As we stated earlier, we are champions of both of those this year. We have the hardware proudly displayed here today, as both of these are we feel back where they belong here at Prairie State College. Right. Coach, two of your big goals here were accomplished already this year. How do you feel about that and just the season in general so far?
Well, it was great to win the conference convincingly. We won against every conference team 9-0. I believe Lake County was 8-1.
Yes.
So it was a nice convincing campaign at the conference level, and then the 3 additional regional opponents, and we went to the regional tournament, and pretty much I believe we were in every final, and won 6 of them. So it was a convincing regional as well. So yeah, it was very nice.
When you put this group together, when did you realize, was it before the campaign started, or was it at some point during the season that you realized that they were a group that was definitely going to be capable, at least, of accomplishing this and going to the national tournament?
Right. We started our schedule in January against some good 4-year schools, and we got beat up, which is good. We got matched tough, and I think at the our first regional match was against Illinois Valley. When we saw the difference, when we saw it was that those 4-year school matches really got us matched tough, was when I realized maybe we could do some really good things with the conference season and the regional matches.
How do you prepare this particular group of guys for the national tournament? This is something that no one in the program this year has actually experienced before, so this will be brand new for all of them.
It's another match for them. They just keep playing the way they've been playing all year. They're playing well. They're practicing hard. They know what to expect with the level of play. We played Lewis and Clark recently, and that was like a bit of a preview of what it's going to be like at the Nationals. I think they're ready for it.
Yeah.
They're going to just make the shots that they've been making all year, and play the way they've been playing, and they'll do just fine.
And Lewis and Clark is another good program. We hung really tough with them, and we're in every match as well with those guys too.
They beat us 6-3, but I really think that could have been a 5-4 win or loss. It was a flip of a coin, just a couple of matches, so it gave them some good confidence. Some of the conference matches were perhaps not as challenging because our players were just so tough. So it was good to get a tough matchup like that.
What are some of your goals and maybe some very realistic expectations for the national tournament when you guys get down there?
As you know, it's a different format. It's not team versus team. It's the same format as the regionals, where they're playing in individual flights, 1 through 6 singles and 1 through 3 doubles. They accumulate points for the team standings, but it's very much an individual format. I think if we can just gather enough points and perhaps end up in the top 20, I think there will be about 25 teams there. If they can get a top 20 finish, I think that would be wonderful, or better.
Sure,
nice, yeah.
Of course. With the exception of our number 1 player this year, Abnov, everybody else is basically a freshman. What does that say about what you've got going into next year? Obviously, that bodes really well for the future.
Oh, it means our team is going to be just as good, maybe even a little bit better next year.
Sure.
We're losing Abnov, but we're bringing in Carlos Alcala's brother, who's a very strong player, and then hopefully 2 or 3 more recruits, possibly.
Yep.
And I think we'll be, if not as good, I think we'll be better next year. So.
I know that you're not really big into individual accolades, you know, individual awards, all that. But you were, as I said, the conference coach of the year, the region coach of the year. You also received a second award from the Illinois Skyway Conference, which was voted upon by the athletic directors in the league, and that was the newcomer coach of the year. And I know that was one that maybe more so than the other two were, you know, maybe was kind of special to you. What do those awards mean to you? I mean, because the region one and both of the coach of the year ones for the conference and the region are kind of almost like team awards. If your team doesn't do well, you're not going to get those.
Right, those two are automatic. If your team wins conference, you're the coach of the year in the conference, and if your team wins regionals. The newcomer coach of the year for the conference was nice, because that's voted upon by all the athletic directors, so it was nice to get that recognition. Yeah.
Most of our team, the bulk of it, really exception of a couple guys, are international. They come from places outside of the United States. When you brought all these guys together, how well did they mesh right from the beginning? I remember our men's soccer coach, Carlos Reyes, mentioned when he brought international players in that soccer is like the language initially, you know, like that's the common thing that kind of bond that everybody has. Is it the same thing with tennis, and was it the same thing with these guys?
I can tell you the first one I recruited was Gabriel from Brazil in July. And Abanov set up a WhatsApp group chat.
Sure.
So as we were recruiting players, we'd add them to the group chat. So they really got to know each other through WhatsApp. So by the time they came here in January, they kind of knew each other a little bit. So that was nice. So the mesh, the getting to know each other, that started well before they got here. Yeah.
Getting back to the national tournament, what will we have to do well in order to be successful
Just
there?
keep playing the way they've been playing. They make the shots they know how to make. Don't do anything special. They know from this going back to January. I think they're all mentally tough. They're physically ready. They're luckily as a coach, they were so good. I didn't have to make too many technical changes. They're all good players, and so just keep playing the way they've been doing and play their own games, and they'll do just fine.
Now, our last question here was, I know that there was basically a dark cloud that was hanging over our athletic department for the past few months, and underneath that cloud was whether or not we're going to return next year. And our athletic director, Joe Belcaster, just informed me a short while ago that you actually signed a 7-year deal worth around $7.5 million. So you're gonna be a very wealthy man going forward. It's nice to know that you will be back. No, but you will be back next year.
Yes,
all
definitely.
kidding aside.
I do have more goals. You know, we did a real nice fundraising effort last year. I ran tournaments on campus. We raised some money to buy bleachers and on-court seating, and that really helped with uniforms and court time. So I'll do that again this year. And of course, I'd like to see the benefits of that. And so there's some things we want to do with the courts this fall, like get the permanent windscreens. But so if you put in the work to fundraise, you want to see the benefits. So yeah, we'll do it. I think it's also important to defend a title, so it'd be nice to defend the conference and regional title next year.
So for you to stay,
so I'll be around for one more year
Yeah.
at least, maybe more. We'll see how you guys treat me.
Yes, of course. Well, Coach, thank you very much for being here. Good luck next week in the national tournament.
Thank you.
We are pleased to be joined by 3 of our outstanding men's tennis players here today on Coach's Corner. With us here today, we have Carlos Alcala, Nick Belders, and Nick Scropo. Carlos is from Venezuela, Nick is from the Netherlands, and our other Nick is from beautiful Peatone, Illinois, USA. So thank you guys for being here with us today. Carlos, we'll start with you. This tennis program over the last few years won 7 straight conference titles, 7 straight region titles. We were the dominant team, men's tennis team in Region 4. What is it like? Now, obviously, you weren't here for any of that. Last year, we had a really down year. We didn't play to the capabilities that we normally have. Didn't win the region, didn't win the conference, didn't go to nationals. This year, obviously, we're back. We've won the conference, won the region, going back to nationals. What's it like to be a part of kind of bringing Prairie State College men's tennis back and being a part of that, the success?
Well, at the beginning it was a lot of pressure because the history of the team, the background. So, I had to catch up to the expectations. At the beginning we were told that our objective were winning the conference, winning the regionals, and making a good work in nationals too. So I'm very happy about the results of the season and looking for the best in the nationals.
Great. Nick, you this year went undefeated through the region. You had a great season, did not lose to a region opponent. What were your goals coming into your first season of college tennis? What did you want to see have yourself accomplish, and were you able to accomplish that?
My personal goals were just to get, just work hard for it. Didn't play a lot of matches last year in Spain because I was not able to because of eligibility. I just wanted to be like in a good spot in the team so I could face some good opponents. And I think I played some good tennis. Had some injuries, but we got a doctor for it, and she helped me through it. So.
That's what the doctor's there for. Yeah, for sure. Now, Nick Scropo, you are brand new to tennis. You really didn't play any team tennis or much tennis at all until this year. You were a baseball guy for a long time. You actually played your college baseball at Joliet and at South Sub. And what made you kind of turn towards tennis and develop an interest in it and realize that was the route you wanted to go with your athletic career?
Yeah, well, it was last summer. I was watching Wimbledon. I was watching Mikirios play tennis, and I was just like, looked at the TV, and I was like, I want to do that. I want to, play tennis, play a different sport, try something new. And so one of my buddies was on the team at Prairie State tennis team last year, and I reached out to him. He gave me the number of Donn Gobbie, which is their coach. Sure. Wonderful coach, best coach ever, Donn Gobbie. But got in touch with him. He said, come out. I came out, taught me how to play tennis. We ended up going out recruiting these foreigners. They're all great players and stuff. And so we just built the team not around me, but we built a great team, and then we just had a lot of successes here.
Now you touched on Don a little bit about he's a character, and he's a legend in the game of tennis in general. What's it like playing for him? Is he probably one of the more entertaining coaches that you guys have ever had? In terms of just his personality and just keeping things light and all that.
Yeah, Donn Gobbie keeps us light. He restrings our rackets. He's a wonderful guy. He runs the practices great. He really did a really good job of recruiting. He recruited all these guys. We blew through conference and region. We didn't have too much competition. They really dominated. So, how do you guys like playing with Donn Gobbie?
When you see him, he's like, I think he's in his 60s. So he knows what he's doing. He knows what he's talking about. He helped us during our matches, but also just when we prepare for our matches, he gives us what we need, and I really appreciate it about it.
For me, it's kind of the same. Out and inside the court has been very helpful, and I think he's a good person too.
Sure, absolutely. Now, Carlos and Nick, outside of the United States, I know that there's not a lot of team tennis. It's not as big as it is here. I know, Nick, you said you played a little bit of team tennis. Carlos, none at all. How was it adapting to that, to that team atmosphere and kind of the team style of play? Was it an easy adaptation, and do you enjoy the team concept?
Yeah, I have a little bit of background playing team sports like basketball or soccer back in Venezuela. So adapting that team play to tennis was a little bit awkward at the beginning because I didn't understand quite the rules or how to be with my teammates.
Sure.
But a couple of weeks after that, at the beginning, it was all kind of normal. It was very good.
Yeah.
When I grew up, I played competition like within a team since I was like 8, 9 years old. I think I know how to play in a team. I love to help my teammates to get better. Also during the matches, playing doubles, singles. You need each other to get your best results. And I also used to play soccer, so I think that helped me, and it was quite easy to start here in the team.
Okay. Now, with the national tournament coming up, obviously these are the best players in the country at the junior college level. So everybody you played on there is going to be good. What are your expectations, and what are some of your goals, maybe individually and for the team, and what you guys want to do down in Texas at the national tournament?
Yeah, well, all you can ask for is an opportunity to get to play the best players in the country. So I think just making this far for us is a really big accomplishment. Getting Prairie State tennis back to where it's supposed to be. We're supposed to be the best in the region and the conference. So getting back there is always great. And yeah, all you can ask for is an opportunity to play the best players. You know, there's gonna be coaches watching us. If anyone wants to, you know, go to a 4-year, you're gonna have to show up. You're gonna have to play your best tennis. You know, represent Prairie State nice.
What do you guys think?
Yeah, I have a very high expectation about my games there. I'm hoping to do a good job there, and I will do my best.
All right, Nick, how about you?
I mean, my expectations are high, and I think our whole team proves ourselves that we can compete with those guys. We probably won't get like top 3 or maybe top 5, top 10, but we can try and we'll see where it goes.
Awesome. All right, well, guys, thank you very much for being here, and good luck next week.
Thank you.
Thank you.